Good morning. It is Friday, July 11th, 2025 a.m. So, I want to talk here about this is what was on my daily devotion. It is only at the tree loaded with fruit that men throw apples. Matthew 12:33. Make a tree good, and its fruit will be good. Or make a tree bad, and its fruit will be bad. For a tree is recognized by its fruits. By its fruits. Good means quality. Upright. Ripe. Let's put that. Ripeness. Bad is second rate, third rate. Careless. Low. Recognized. God had brought this to my knowledge. Is to see, but not with these eyes. Recognized is to see through and with discernment, seeing. So how do we grow a good tree? Because we are a tree. We are like a tree. Our existence, our being, physical and spiritual. You know, we're all about the physical, right? And what God has given me in the last few days is mankind separated from the spiritual. The separation from God, right? Our soul, our spiritual-ness within us. There is a separation of that. We're all about the physical. But we are so blinded, so thinking that's it, when it is not. So the separation from the spirituality is what is that is the void. That is the lack of. That's what we need. But we're searching at everything else. And we're looking under and looking at all this other stuff to fulfill us for self value, to be valued when we're not being valued, when we're not valuing, and we're not being valued from others, from another and others, people, places, and things, right? So how do you grow a good tree? First, it starts with you planting the trunk, right? The roots in the ground, and make sure it's deep enough and so forth. That and then some people, they say you tie a string to one stake and then you try another string to another stake so the tree don't in the wind. And you make sure it's got good soil, fertilizer. Select a sunny, well-drained location. Likewise for our own selves. And choose a variety suited to your climate. Ensure the soil is fertile and amend it with organic matter if needed. It is needed. We need organic, natural. Water regularly. Hello. Especially during the first few years. And consider using mulch to retain moisture. Now apply this to ourselves. We need good, stable foundation. Love is the foundation we lean on. Love energy now. I'm talking about the higher love energy. Living and loving. Let's talk about living. Let's talk about loving. Loving and a living and a living and a loving and. Prune. To maintain shape and sunlight penetration. We gotta prune. Inside and outside. In other words, we got to stay regular. Our insides are connected. Everything within inside us is connected. And your body gives you the knowing if you pay attention to it. Warning, warning, warning. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, Will Robinson. Warning, Will Robinson. That there's something wrong because you're not putting in the right food. You're not putting it in the right location, the right soil. And us as human beings representing likeness of a tree in symbolicalness, you got to be regular. You know what I'm talking about? Releasing inside you. You know, like number 1 and number 2, right? You know what I'm talking about. Prune to maintain shape and sunlight penetration. Get some sun. In all wisdom now, sun spray, you know, a hat, but still get some sun daily. And protect against pests and diseases. We got to input into us the correct fuel, the correct fertilizer, not just on the outside, but also in the inside. I'm talking about proper balanced dieting, your intake, your food. That's my problem, is my weight. But society has made us self-conscious about our bodies and our shapes. I'm not saying about being obese, but now they say 30% something body, whatever they call it. Oh, that's obese, that's obese. Okay, but be healthy, be happy, do all you can do. And this is what's coming in, is a change in lifestyle for all of us. And that's a part of awakening, coming into higher standard quality, into our own ripeness. Hello. Fertilize as needed and ensure proper pollination. We're all about the physical, but understand the spiritual is like the physical. Needs to be fed, needs to be watered, needs to be right here in the forefront. It's a balance between the both of physical and spiritual. It is necessary. But we have gotten so far away from the spirituality within us. There's a serious imbalance. I don't know the number, 98% of us are more in the physical and less in the spiritual. It's as physical is spiritual. As what you do physical for yourself, also it is likewise in the spiritual necessity of the spiritual side of you. But when we are higher in the spiritual and less in the physical, behold enlightenment. Behold a transformation. Behold Amos 5:24. It says here, majority of us practice rituals but fail to live it justly and righteously in our daily lives. We should be actively pursuing and showing the truth of it is that there will absolutely be a transformation, a change in you does occur, and it becomes visible. Maybe not to yourself, you don't really see it or recognize it or whatever, right? But others do. You're just saying, I'm just being me. I'm just being myself. I'm just changing and applying and taking action, to do so, to be so as, but it is true. The effect is a change in you, and the change which is obvious and even in one's behavior, lifestyle, it becomes visible and it becomes known. It's a transformation is, exclamation point. A way of life, priorities become just and right. Prioritizing in all aspects of life. It's a reminder here that true faith is not only about what is said or done in a religious setting, but it's about how we live and treat others. Our living should be a spiritual ritual. Our living, our lives, not just going to church, going to mass, going to prayer, going to Wednesday night meetings, church meetings, and twice on Sunday, and all that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking that, because that's actually fellowshipping. That's having a support system. Hopefully all in good vibes, not negative, but we know there's a lot of negative, no matter where, actually. So we got to be careful there, right? But your life becomes a ritual. The transformation, the change in you and your daily living lifestyle is your spiritual ritual. Journal, gratitude, reading the word, feeding that spiritual soul that is hungry and thirsty. Same as the physical needs drink and eats and treats, hello. So does your spiritual soul needs, eats, and treats. Spiritual manna, spiritual fruits, holy water, okay? The change does occur. It's a transformation. But make a tree good and its fruits will be good, or make a tree bad and its fruits will be bad. I drew on my tablet here as I wrote stuff down the tree, and I put my name, Kimberly Ann, and I made a tree and I put in my fruits, which is peace, love, happiness. And I put in some Native American signs and symbols of balance and prosperity and abundance, and just certain things that were quality. Okay, spiral up. You know, the symbol of a horse is good fortune galloping toward you. Hello. Okay, and the angel number 909. It's a new beginning, end of a cycle. Embrace your spiritual growth and personal transformation. Letting go of all that negative stuff that you used to do and be a part of and get involved in. That's all let go. It's released. Just like physically you release the toxic in you, in your bowels. Hello. Spiritually you release. And then you get yourself in aligned with the arrow, the Native American arrow pointing up, upgrading. Okay, upgrading. Okay, and so 909, taking action towards your goals. Okay, new beginning, end of a cycle. Embrace. Okay, so today, actually, before this cuts off here, words of abundance came out. You have the ability to instantly manifest, create abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you attract for yourself and others. What you shine onto others, coming back to you. Arrow going this way, arrow going this way. Native American double arrow, pointing right, and the other one pointing left. Right, one on top, one on the bottom. That means comes around, goes around. What you present out comes back to you. Gratitude patch. Funny, the tree. As I pulled a card out of the deck, this is the one that came out. Tree. And God said, yep, that's the one. Maintain a gratitude journal. Continue to be in thankfulness. Good vibes. Maintain your ritual, hello, of love, light, and life. Of increase, of spiraling up.